Hi, this is Pastor Nick Hood, and I want to give you a preview about our worship service this Sunday. Very special worship service. We're featuring Andrew Young, one of the last surviving members of the original team of men and women who worked with Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. in the Civil Rights Movement. And, I had an opportunity to interview Andrew in preparation for this church service. And he's a person I've known my entire life. It's a funny story, but my father got called to pastor the Central Congregational United Church of Christ in New Orleans in 1949. I was born in 1951. The parsonage at the church in New Orleans wasn't complete when my father and my mother got married and went down there. First job for both of them. And so Andrew Young's parents volunteered for my parents to stay in their house. But they had a 3-bedroom house. And, Walter Young stayed in one bedroom. That's Andrew's younger brother. Andrew stayed in the other. And then the mother and father stayed in the big bedroom. Well, when my parents came, I guess they took the luck of the draw because Andrew was just finishing up at Howard University, only 19 years of age when he graduated. But when he came home to find that my mother and father were in his bedroom. And he wasn't too pleased about that. But he took a liking to my dad. And if you watch the service that we have this morning, you'll have an opportunity, or Sunday morning, you'll have an opportunity to see how my dad bonded with him. My dad encouraged Andrew to help him out in the ministry. And one thing led to another, and next thing you knew, Andrew became a minister. And shortly after becoming a minister, he became a lieutenant to Martin Luther King Jr. And so what you'll hear just a few moments in our Sunday service is you'll have an opportunity to hear a fascinating detail of the life of Andrew Young starting at age 19. How he and my father met, how my father encouraged him to think about the ministry, and then how Andrew himself went on first working with Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. After working with Martin Luther King Jr. when Dr. King was assassinated, Andrew he floundered for a little while. I watched him in that period. He came to Detroit, stayed for extended periods of time at our house on Fullerton Street in Detroit. But after that, he kind of got himself together. He ran for Congress. The first time he lost, the second time he won. 2 years later, he was the first African American elected to the Congress from the Deep South since Reconstruction. And shortly after that, he wasn't in Congress very long. Jimmy Carter asked him and appointed him to be ambassador to the United Nations. He's the first African American to hold that position. And then after serving a while as ambassador to the United Nations, he came back to Atlanta, ran for mayor, was elected, served for 2 terms, and really, the combination of Maynard Jackson and then Andrew Young in Atlanta developed the airport. Andrew, with all the knowledge that he had being on the banking committee in the Congress of the United States, he brought all that wisdom back to Atlanta and has made Atlanta an international capital for banking. And so you'll get to hear a lot of that in what you're going to hear this morning. Or Sunday morning. And I want you to think about it, and I want you to tell your friends that Andrew Young is giving a rare message. This is a very long message about his life before, during the Civil Rights Movement, and afterwards. He's 89 years of age. I think you will find it priceless. Thanks so much. God bless, and God keep you.